feel like people tend to really bring up the things they're not comfortable with when it's really necessary. And one of the things is they can tolerate, they can just put up with it. They don't want to tell you like directly.
I don't think that like just saying you're uncomfortable with something would come up. I think it would show up maybe in different ways in the conversation. They'll become defensive or, yeah.
That also, I think, depends on the person. Some people are more comfortable just being honest and blunt about, being confused, and I feel like some other people pretend as if they understand and go on.
I think people tend to be more apt to talk about uncomfortable stuff with people they're familiar with.
I don't think so, and I think it's because they're afraid of being ridiculed by the other person, or the other person thinks they're not like intelligent enough.
I think people are often afraid of what other people are going to think of their opinions, and they're worried that they won't be able to express themselves well enough to be clear about what they're really trying to say.
Because there's a certain element of not wanting to admit that if you're confused or don't understand.
It depends how close they are to the other people. I think a lot of people don't want to be judged for their opinions.
Usually people that I've met are pretty non-confrontational and they'll just shift around and then run away.
I would say that sometimes I lie about what I'm talking about and change it.
I think I will laugh when I'm in like an uncomfortable situation.
Either by leaving the situation or by talking with someone about it afterward.
I usually laugh it off if I can, kind of chuckle or, laugh nervously at it. Or, if it's something political, I'll just talk about it right there and kind of confront the person.
Try to just be understanding of why people would say something. Maybe they don't mean it, maybe it just came out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they were just raised a certain way. I usually just go to the gym and run for a really long time.
Venting about it, definitely, to my friends. Writing about it.
I think that discomfort is like productive when it's like purely like intellectual and like you're like uncomfortable about like maybe your ethical positions, or there's discomfort because you're not sure you know enough about a topic or something. But I think that it's destructive when it's like discomfort on like a social level or an emotional level, because I think that just has the capacity to kind of like destroy.
It's productive when in a situation where whatever causes the discomfort can be made the focus, but I think it can be destructive when other things have to get done and the discomfort becomes a distraction.
I think it's productive when it's something that doesn't really like matter for you. Like it's more like a topic and you're not like, you don't agree with that person and it might not make you like really comfortable, but like it doesn't like impact you personally.
I don't really get bothered by, a lot of things, but like the things I do get bothered by, it's like something I know I can't, or feel like I can't change, so I feel like that's just destructive, and it's like unproductive to get upset about those things, even though like it's justified to be upset about them.
Actually, it's good to get out of the comfort zone, because that is the way that you can learn new things. But one thing that we have to understand is that how comfortable it would be, so that we don't regret after we get out of the comfort zone and we find we are really struggling and we don't find the benefit of doing it.
It definitely makes me learn more. Just at the same time, makes me afraid of it more. It's like I learn more, but I'm afraid of it more. So you have to like balance, like weigh which one is important. Is you feel secure and comfortable, or you know the truth. Yeah.
I feel like when I'm comfortable, I can think of more ideas and I can express them better to other people. But at the same time, under pressure, under discomfort, I learn how to manage them, and I learn to overcome it. Maybe see what like you're not like comfortable with, and like what the situations can be, and like analyze why you're not comfortable with that.
the people who bring the uncomfortable topics always comfortable with what they are talking, but the people around them are not comfortable to listen. That is the difference.
You can challenge yourself, and that's how you grow. Because if you're in a situation where you're uncomfortable and it forces you to push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit, then that'll expand your comfort zone over time, and you'll feel a lot more comfortable with different opinions and different ideas.
If you try to understand what makes you feel uncomfortable, you can discover part of yourself.
The only way that anyone can learn anything is by being challenged. If your existing point of view is never challenged, you're never going to, you're not going to learn. You're not going to be exposed to new ideas.
When you feel uncomfortable, rather than just shying away from it and sort of dodging the topic, it's important to not necessarily embrace it, but to lean towards it in terms of still talking about the issue that's making you uncomfortable, or thinking about it, or engaging in some way.
This is an interesting topic, and about discomfort. I think a lot of people don't really think about it, and when you ask these questions, actually lead me to think more about it.
Confront, I guess, why, the reasons why you're discomforted, and I guess that's the only way to really grow.
I assume that if everyone were to understand why things make them uncomfortable, then it would reduce a lot of that discomfort.
In my class right now, I don't feel comfortable talking, but I learn a lot from trying to talk even when I don't feel comfortable at all. I try to learn how to manage my nerves and to overcome peer pressure, and the fact that sometimes I'm scared, oh God, what if I talked about this and people don't understand me and stuff? What if I screwed up and I can't get my ideas across? But in that environment, I probably learn a lot.
I feel like being thrown into a new environment, I mean, for one, the whole college environment, it's uncomfortable for everybody at first because it's not like anything that you've dealt with in the past. But then, after time, you grow from that and you feel a lot more comfortable here.
If you confront your discomfort head on, it's more productive than avoiding it.
Yes, I can see how that would be good advice, to just face it and not run away. And if you talk about it, it would become less uncomfortable eventually. But I don't think that's many people's first reaction to discomfort.
But sometimes you don't want to have a really discomforting, really challenging conversation or scenario. You just want to be in this comfort zone.
It really requires pushing through the discomfort to talk about stuff and understand. Otherwise, you're just blocking it up, and it's just going to cause more discomfort later.
As long as you know what you're talking about and you know what you want to say and how you want to express yourself, if you're uncomfortable about that, I think that's okay. I would like to be able to do that more myself.
If I push through, I'll learn something from it, and then in retrospect, that's a valuable process, and it makes me realize the importance of sometimes talking about things that you're really uncomfortable with.
Well, I don't think it happened right away. I think it was not really a light bulb. It takes a little while, maybe multiple uncomfortable interactions dealing with the same topic.
Most of the learning that comes from putting yourself in a place of discomfort comes afterwards, after the I think the process happens during the reflection of whatever happened. I don't think when you're being uncomfortable you're learning necessarily. I think you go back to the moments and realize that you learned from them.
I think people can decide. People have a decision to say if they want to explore their discomfort or not. I think that's fine.